All right, guys. So today we have a bit of breaking news coming out of White Stadium. You're probably only going to see this here. Now, as you may have seen over the holiday, Mayor Wu seems to be pushing ahead with her plans to turn this historic community landmark into a professional soccer venue. Now, this project, as you may have seen in my previous videos, has sparked quite a bit of outrage across the city, especially in the surrounding neighborhoods nearest to it. So there's really a lot of concern here, guys. There's the environmental concerns, there's the costs to the taxpayers, and really there's a lack of community input. And we talk about that a lot on this channel, and now that community is demanding answers. And guess what? The community is fighting back, and that's really what's going on in this letter. So today, I'm going to be sharing this with you. It is a letter written directly to Mayor Michelle Wu, so stick around. You're going to want to hear this. All right. This was written January 2nd. It says, "Dear Mayor Wu, we never heard back from you following our hand-delivered letter, December 11, 24, regarding our recommended solution that the New England Revolution and Boss Nation Soccer Club share the Everett Stadium, which would allow for a truly public renovation of White Stadium as a high school sports stadium guided by true community input." So it seems that's what the community would like. "We were shocked to see the details of the White Stadium lease agreement with Boss Nation that you released the Monday before the holidays. This timing was disrespectful to the many Boston residents impacted by this decision who had to take time away from their families to respond. The community was never asked what we wanted to see happen with the White Stadium property, but were instead told that that it's already been decided. This process was flawed from the beginning and should start over, giving priority input to the communities that surround Franklin Park and use this parkland as their backyard. Negative impacts on community disregarded. First and foremost, the redevelopment of White Stadium's impact on surrounding neighborhoods has many negative impacts which have been disregarded. You have made it clear that you do not see the need for the environmental review of this massive $200 million project in a public park, despite calling the same review in Charlestown for potential increased traffic due to the New England Revolution Stadium that would be located in Everett. Community survey severely flawed and misrepresents community concerns. You continued use of the Franklin Park Coalition's February 2024 survey data is misleading. The survey was biased, as it did not ask the most fundamental question: what the community wanted for this space. It was conducted months before any details were announced regarding traffic, parking, tree removal, and noise and pollution control, all of which are still not satisfactorily addressed. Instead, the survey only asked a vague question with two responses: renovate the stadium with a professional soccer league or leave it as is. This is a false choice that does not capture what most of the communities want: a public renovation of White Stadium that increases access for students and the community while avoiding the countless problems with the professional soccer team proposal. In addition, the survey was quickly distributed and many neighborhoods were not given equal opportunity to reply. The majority of respondents were from Jamaica Plain, and the survey was only written in English. As a reminder, there are thousands of Franklin Park neighbors on the sides of the park, including the environmental justice communities of Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, Jamaica Plain, and Roslindale, who have come together to express their objections ranging from increased air, noise, and light pollution, increased litter, the removal of up to 157 mature trees, increased traffic and parking restrictions, football exclusion until November, and decreased community access. Stadium deal puts undue burden on taxpayers. While you have made the lease agreement public, it reveals what a bad deal this is for taxpayers and raises many more questions. It does not provide a full accounting of the project's finances, including the amount of planned pilot payments. No other Boston sports franchise has taken funds or land from the city for construction. For example, the Boston Red Sox pay $3.2 million in annual property taxes, and the Celtics and Bruins play in a shared stadium owned by Delaware North that pays $2.8 million annually. In contrast, Boss Nation would have a voluntary payment of an unknown amount. Boston taxpayers deserve clarity. The deal doesn't make sense for the taxpayers. The planned $400,000 annual lease payments, even if extended over 30 years with a 3% annual increases, would not come close to paying back the city's investment cost of $91 million, which you've admitted may continue to rise as you receive bids for construction. And that's not including added costs to the city for transportation, infrastructure, sanitation, and security that will arise from this proposal. What's more is a supposedly public stadium, Boston will receive only pennies on the dollar in revenue sharing, just 10% of revenue from field naming rights and in-stadium advertising, and just 3% of concessions revenue. Cancel lease and find alternatives to renew White Stadium. In conclusion, we demand the immediate termination of the lease and a public hearing be held in the City Council chambers to discuss potential alternatives for White Stadium's renewal. In the interim, there should be no demolition of public building structures or removal of irreplaceable trees in Franklin Park. We look forward to hearing from you the first week of January. Well, we are at the end of the first week. Well, almost at the end of the first week of January. And no, we're on to the first week of January, right? Sort of. Okay. It's Tuesday. It's the 7th. Yeah, we're getting there. So anyway, yeah, these people are upset. And I think the issue here, and as we talk about a lot on this channel, sometimes these projects get done and they're not necessarily in the best interest of the communities that affect them. And then when those communities don't have any kind of public forum or access to voice their opinion, obviously they get upset, right? You're doing something, you're creating something that was no longer there, and ultimately, the people that live there are the ones that are affected the most, okay? So they want to have some levels of input on these projects, which I can understand, right? That it's affecting them, it's affecting their communities, it's affecting their neighborhood. And ultimately, I think what this boils down to is a lack of transparency. Once, based on what I just read, $400,000 annual lease payments extended over 30 years. I mean, you're not even going to get close to the $91 million, even if there's increases, including the revenue that they're getting from other from other sources. The fact is, if this project extends beyond that $91 million, which it may, as it seems they're getting construction bids now, the fact is, when are you going to recuperate those funds? So I think ultimately, I don't see the net positive gain here, okay? I just don't see the net positive gain, and I think that's mainly what the problem is. And I think it's easy for people on the outside looking in that may enjoy soccer, so on and so forth. It's easy for them if they're not necessarily directly affected. So their opinions are going to be somewhat skewed. And obviously, the people that live there, they're going to have a much stronger opinion on this because this place is effectively in their backyard. So this is what's going on. If I get any more updates on this, I will let you guys know. And that's it, guys. So hopefully we'll get some updates from the mayor. Maybe we'll get a response. I'll keep you posted on that, and we'll just take it from there. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.